And welcome back, it's Jackie again, and here we go with journal 3. This one has a bit of a different look because I've used scrapbook paper, very thick card for the cover, and an image from an old botanical book on the front. This is dyed seam binding, and I thought it toned in nicely with this darker print on here. So I have layered up some vintage laces under there. That's the back, and there is sort of a canvasy fabric on the spine of this one. This one is quite full, they're all quite full. No dangles on this one, so if you're somebody that doesn't like dangles, you might enjoy this one. The inside, I have got to put a pocket on here, and I will do that. I couldn't actually decide, I haven't quite decided yet, but it's double layer of cardstock. So we've got craft on the inside and this scrapbook. I think this is from 49 and Market. I've got my Sheena style envelope on the front, a little bit of ruching and a pearl button. This is one of those envelopes that it's 1943 from Milwaukee, and it's obviously come through a censor because it's been examined and opened during the war. So on this side I've put a library card. Sheena does this quite often, so I've used a postcard similar to the way she does it. It's not written on the other side, and I've used that as a pocket for a 1947 receipt. It's from the estate of somebody who's deceased. I like the way the colours go together, and I like that you can see this poem at the top here. So this is another sheet of this thick scrapbook cardstock. So we've done oh yes, a tag. This is a tag. And I layered the back with the cover of some music, like a book of music, and I've put, it's very brittle, very old, a page from an 1899 magazine. Just pop that in this pocket at the back of this tag. It does go up there, it's a little bit stiff, there we go. So it feels a little bit padded. So that's in there. This is from an old gardening book. This is a lady in the 1920s, and I've just clipped that over this card advertisement really from Mr. Buckingham, who was a master of ceremonies. See, advertising his particular thing, and somebody is quoting for a coming of age party 1950, so that would be somebody who was 21 with 36 people. I've put a fabric page in this journal, a really beautiful vintage handkerchief. I was going to tea dye it, but I thought it was too nice really to tea dye, so that's quite white. In here we've got another page from that magazine and a vintage postcard. It's embossed a little bit but not written on. I've done some, I call this decoupage, where I've cut out the flowers and just decorated the pages. This window, glassine window card, I think was from a photograph album. This was gifted to me by Kathleen, I believe. Would have been Kathleen or Carol, so thank you guys, whoever it was. I've made a fairy to go in there. This is a 1949 receipt, and I've put a bow at the top. Flower fairy in this pocket. This is just a piece of tea dyed paper. This is from a vintage, it's not vintage particularly, it's an oldish flower book pocket with a tab tag, and in this little piece here it's folded over again. I've just used a faux calling card, and that's a printout from Tailor Made Journals, and there's a little snippet there as you can see. It's children's book page. Another piece of decoupage, and this is from a 1971 air letter. And on this side, I did cut some of the personal details out of the letter. This is an 1866 receipt, cutting and something wood to be sold by public. Hard to read. 1866 is on the back of that and on the front here, but beautiful writing, and a postcard that colours tone in. It's hard to read that, but it could be 1910. So that's in there. This is a page from a botanical atlas. Sorry, my words aren't working today, obviously. So we've got the pages from a vintage Flower Fairy book, a couple of the poems, and the Heartseeds Fairy. This is the rest of that cover from the music. And I've got a page in there from a vintage encyclopedia, a plan of the Roman Forum. So quite random. Looks attractive, I think. Centre. A really tall tag on the other side of this, and it's similar or part of that image that I've used for the front. More of that ruching. It's a bit more decoupage. The other side of the letter. Snip it up here with a bit of sari trim. Uh, 1923 is the ledger page, and again I've done a vintage Flower Fairy image in that pocket and a faux calling card in this one. In this one I've got some photographs from 1925. They're local to where I live. This is just a snippet of vintage ledger with some nice writing on it. I think that says 1919. I thought this one was from the 1920s. Definitely old. I've got a pocket here with a postcard of Hastings. This one is written on and is from 1907. So again, I've chosen it because of the colours as much as anything else. It's a little bit of that sari trim up there with some vintage lace, a little bit of decoupage. It's the other side of the handkerchief, the other side of the request for a quote. Library card. I folded this page up and done a really long slim tag in there, and a fussy cut image. This is another postcard with some more of that embroidery or similar embroidery pattern. And then on the back, this is the back of the envelope. I've stuck that down either side. You can see here where it says examined by. And this is a printout, so that's not original, but obviously can be used in your own collages. So that's my third and final one for today. You'll be glad to know. It has got to have a pocket added in the front. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.